It's our council that needs modernization. I have first-hand experience with the issues we all face. The drunkenness in town, public intoxication, homelessness, the loss of our parks because they're no longer safe, the desire to have a better environment, and the need for a transparent council. I'm not afraid to confront these issues. Lance and I took it upon ourselves to bring up the problems that we're facing in the downtown. We took those to the public, the media, and the council without knowing what kind of consequences that would have on our business, but we needed to do it for our customers' safety and for our staff's safety. There's been a total lack of leadership from our council regarding this issue. Shelters do not equal housing. I have proposed a harm reduction strategy for our downtown chronic drinkers, a workable recycling program that will bring about employment for our downtown, because recycling is not a new thing. It's not about time. It's something that should have been done here 15 years ago. And I'll also not sit by quietly if the new council refuses to end unnecessary closed-door meetings. That's not acceptable. And I'm also not afraid to put a sign on the co-op building that says "for sale." And I hope on November 15th I'll be able to put a sign on council that says "under new management." Thank you.
I just want to be clear, this is not a 4,600 block problem. This problem is systemic throughout the entire downtown core. You can, from the 4,600 block to Mystic River Books, it's all over. Regarding, how to tackle this, the city decided in its infinite wisdom that when the Terrace Anti-Poverty Society took over the women's shelter, that the rent should go from $1 a year to $600 a month. So I ask you, how is that helping people on the street? I proposed a harm reduction plan because we're not going to get everybody off the street with specific, measurable, achievable, time-oriented, time-limited goals that are easily communicated from the task force that's working on that to the people.
That you want to make a difference, but I also appreciate from attending a lot of council meetings that if you're one for some council, it is hard to make a difference, and it does take time for change. So if Lance isn't elected and it is just you, how will you ensure that your ideas are going to go forward?
I'm pleased that there's other people that are also running it. Excuse me. And I hope there'll be a lot of new members on the council, because I think that's what we need. You hear that there's not enough money, or the province needs to fund it, the federal government needs to fund it. That's true. They need to pull the weight. But is it a lack of resources or a lack of resourcefulness? I think that's a question you have to ask yourself. Because when we need money to buy a co-op, it's there. When we need money to rent DLC, it's there. And I think it's kind of like you're working on a crossword, and you're staring at the same problem, and you just can't get it. And then you show it to somebody else, and they know the answer like that. I think we need new eyes on the problem, and I think that'll go a long way to getting this city moving in the right direction. Thank you.
I think we'll take another question from the floor.
I think that communication between City Council and the people who represent is essential. And if you don't know what's going on, how is that good for our democracy or our city? It's not. I think it's important that, like Dave was saying with the mayor's report, to keep people informed. I hope that anybody who's elected mayor would adopt that idea. I think it's great. I think the council needs to be out on the streets. When we say that the people need to be coming to council to bring us their ideas, I think the council needs to be going to the people and asking for their ideas. I'm a firm believer that they need to be part of the community and finding things out. I mean, when we went to city council didn't even know where Lance's business was. Jack had no idea how long it had been there or even where it was, and that struck me as odd. To me, the mayor should be the first guy through the door on opening day, and the newspaper with the camera should be right behind him.
We have a rebuttal from Brad. Our next question from the floor.
I am Luke Holden II. My first question is for James. I believe one of the biggest problems that we face in Terrace is that we don't retain our young talent. By young talent, I wasn't talking about the previous youth. We're talking about people post high school. So what do you believe that we can do to address that issue and to keep people of that age group that have real skills that we can foster in this community? We talk a lot about we need to attract businesses, etc. That's a great idea, but if you don't have people to run those businesses, then it really doesn't go anywhere.
Well, thanks for the question. One of the reasons why I decided to run is the fact that none of the 15 staff we have at our coffee shop really have much interest in staying in Terrace. And I think that's a shame because, they're quite bright, most of them. And I'm sure they'd say the same thing about me. It's a whole broad spectrum. I mean, it's, there has to be the activities for them. There has to be jobs that are paying enough for their skill sets. We could use some trade schools here. There's so many things, to get a minute to talk about it. It's quite a lot, but I think that the city as a whole needs to be attractive on so many more fronts than it actually is, to keep the people here and to bring other people that want to stay here.
Rebuttals from Brad and Bruce. Hey, Brad, sorry, 2 cards on the